Today we are going to talk about food. For those of you that maybe are having some issues with food, maybe your dog doesn't take food readily or doesn't take it all the time, we're going to talk about some of the ways to fix that and to move forward so you can have as many tools in your tool belt as possible, whether that's a leash, a correction collar, your praise, food, a toy. We want as many tools as we can. But it doesn't work if your dog is full, it doesn't work if your dog is a little bit overweight, and it doesn't work if your dog's a little bit of a picky eater, especially if you're trying to use kibble or carrots. So let's talk about some of the ways where you can maximize your tool of food. Not all dogs are super excited to take treats, especially when it's more of a distracting environment. This is why it's very crucial to establish what professional trainers call a working relationship with your dog. Doing this requires that you not feed your dog from a bowl until they do have that working relationship and can take food from you easily in almost any situation. I know, don't feed my dog from a bowl. What the is she talking about? Yeah, so if you're a professional trainer and you're competing and doing a lot of things, a lot of us don't feed our dogs from a bowl, especially when they're puppies. And this is because we want them to be accustomed to working for us, doing things for food. We don't want to just put food down and let our dog eat and give them a huge bowl of food and they finish it sometimes they leave lots of it, sometimes they don't eat it till later, because what that does is it devalues the food. So the food becomes less and less important, especially if you start overfeeding at an early age. Instead of feeding from a bowl, what we would like for you guys to do is to use your meal. So let's say you have a Labrador and breakfast is 1.5 cups of food. So you take that 1.5 cups of food, you can mix some ground beef in with it. Ground beef is my favorite, like cooked ground beef. You can mix that into their meal, get it all yummy smelling, and you can put it into your treat pouch or your training vest, and they have to do small things for it. In the beginning, these things don't have to be big. It can just be sitting, downing, going around a post, getting onto their bed. It can be small things, but these things start establishing that working relationship. Also be sure to time your training sessions when your dog is their hungriest and not super tired. So don't try to do your training right after a long bike ride, or maybe you've been at the beach with them all day. Don't do your training sessions then. Do them when the dog has not had anything to eat for, let's say, 6 to 8 hours. So if you fed him in the morning, you can do your training session at night. Or if you fed him at night, you can do your training session the next morning. Whenever your dog is the hungriest and the most active is generally the best time to do any sort of obedience training.
Good boy. Chase. There you are. There you are. There you are. There you are. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, super job. Oh, it's a wonderful girl. It's a wonderful girl. Yes, it's a wonderful girl. Yeah. If your dog is ignoring high value treats like, let's say, cheese or freeze-dried meat or meatballs, if they're ignoring that, turning their nose up and they don't like it, that also is usually an indicator that the dog is above their optimum weight. Of course, there are exceptions. So there are dogs who are just super picky, but you can see a little bit of their rib bone sticking out, and that does happen. It's just not very common. Hopefully this helped you guys. Remember, all dogs, all beings have to eat. Sometimes as trainers we hear, well, my dog doesn't like food. If they didn't eat ever, they would not be here. They would waste away to nothing. So they have to eat at some point. The key is working to get on a schedule and on a program where they have learned and are happy to take that food from you, not from a bowl.